Thanks, Anita. Janae is here from Lake Tahoe Yoga. I'm just sitting here talking during the commercial break. It's like, oh, is that one over? We have to do an interview now.
We have to get formal now.
Yeah. So you were telling me March.
March is Mindful March. So there's a group there called Love Your Brain, and they provide support and funding and research for brain injury awareness and recovery.
TBI, traumatic brain injury.
You got it. Yeah. So, and I've had quite a few clients who I've worked with. I have a very dear friend who's had to deal with traumatic brain injury.
We all do now, right? It's one of those things that I think we all.
If you've had one concussion, you have probably damaged your brain a little bit.
And then there's the second impact syndrome, which I lost a very dear friend of mine, Ryan Shreve, maybe it was many years ago, but he'd had concussions and then fell wakeboarding, and ultimately it took his life. You know, so it created the good to come out of it was it did create a lot more awareness in what's going on in the NFL.
Absolutely. So every year, gosh, I can't even remember how long I've been doing this, maybe 3 or 4 years. Lake Tahoe Yoga runs a bunch of donation classes, and then those donations go to Love Your Brain to support Mindful March. So you can check out their website. You can check out our website. There's links. You can donate on your own. Every Friday in March, our 10:45 a.m. Top Bus practice is donation based. So you can come on in and.
It's a good one, right? You break your arm and you see the broken arm. You can see that it's deformed or whatever, but you hit your head bad. And you see this change in a friend or someone, like I've had that before, someone I know very well, and you see this different behavior pattern, the same face, the same eyes, the same, but something's different. It's a crazy thing, and it's the more aware we become of it. It started to me like, what's going on in the NFL? I heard Bob Costas, you know, the sports commentator, he brought up some fact about traumatic brain injury when he was commentating, and they've taken him off the air.
Oh no!
Isn't that crazy?
That's not okay.
But this is us moving forward. You know, these type of events. I think the awareness is what moves us forward to accepting it and then improving on it.
Yeah, and as you know, my undergrad and graduate degrees are both in mental health. My master's degree is in counseling, and so this is mental health is something that's really important.
Background. It makes so much sense when you bring it up again. I'm like, yes, of course.
Yeah. So it's near and dear to my heart, and yoga is so much more than a physical practice, right? It's that mindfulness. We've talked about this.
Yep.
And so these two go hand in hand, and I really feel there's a lot of value in helping people recover. They're never going to be the same. But they're going to be a new person who hopefully, you know, recovers from and feels better.
And then we have so many of the soldiers coming back from deployments with IEDs and explosions that are having issues with it as well. So I mean, it's a huge issue right now. We're becoming more aware of it.
Absolutely.
I saw a nice post you had. I think it was this morning about it was some sort of a post about like an entry-level yoga.
Oh yeah.
But it really spoke to me, like, because it was like, are you afraid? Have you avoided? What's your fear? And I was like, click, like, that is me.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, I love it. Tell me more.
Yeah, so Fridays are a busy day at Lake Tahoe Yoga. The first Friday of every month, I call it First Timer Fridays now, and 5:15 in the evening, you can join me. It's an hour-long class. Show up, ask me anything you want. And
what's the fastest land animal?
Well, yoga related.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with cheetah.
I was like, you're right.
But yoga related questions, right? Because there's a lot of questions about yoga and a lot of confusion on both ends. You know, is it a cult? Is it a workout? You know, why do you do this? Whatever you want to. And then questions about your body and how yoga affects it. Exactly.
I'm in that. So let me think of one. Like, yeah, I mean, when I think of yoga, I just think of like breathing and stretching, because that's kind of what I'm doing. Since I've gotten to know you, I'm doing more of it. I'm making my way there still. But what's beyond the breathing and stretching in a nutshell? I know that's a broad question, but really, I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm breathing through, stretching, going back, revisiting the stretch, breathing.
So there's
I got it.
Yeah, right? You feel like you got it. So there's this magic that happens after that where you start going, hey, I don't feel quite the same after I'm breathing and stretching in yoga as I do when I'm breathing and lifting weights. There's something different that's happening when I'm doing yoga. And that's kind of the door that opens to the rest of the practice, which is these aspects of mindfulness that you start thinking about your thoughts, you start thinking about your behaviors, and then you start thinking about the world around you. And all of a sudden, there's this perspective shift. And I always tell everybody, yoga, it's like you start to realize that you've been wearing purple sunglasses all your life. And the more you practice yoga, you're like, ooh, I want to try on yellow ones. I want to try on blue ones. And you start to see the world differently.
I see it in all my friends doing it, my wife too, when you come in and talk about it. I mean, look at how much it's grown since you got into it. I mean, you know, and you're a big part of it.
Well, thanks, Todd.
And you're still doing the privates, people come to town, bachelorette parties, whatever.
It's that time of year. If you are planning a bachelorette party or a family event and you want yoga incorporated, now is the time of year to contact me. I start getting bookings now all the way through the summer, so I'm getting contacted for August.
So just one last question. If they're doing a bachelorette party, should they do it, the yoga with you private, before they go out for the bachelorette party or the next morning?
You know, it all depends, because yoga is a great detox, so, you know, we can help to remove everything, but it's also a great preparation pre-dance to like get your body moving, feel really good, and then go have some fun.
Janae at Lake Tahoe Yoga, go see her. We'll take a break and talk about more storms coming to Lake Tahoe.